Okay, so I'm going to go over this with the idea that you're getting ready for this finance test. You can pause this at any point, but to explain the different numbers that I'm getting here, because you'll have to do something like this, and it would take too long just to go through it, like from start step one. Anyways, here it should say salary information, not annual salary information. So that's my oops there. Salary information is how much they're making. So here in Jim's case, he's going to be making $18.25 an hour. Javier's case, he's going to be making $75,000 a year. You need to put that hour and or year or whatever it may be, otherwise I will take off points. To figure out the annual gross income, the process for this one, we're going to assume 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, 52 weeks in a year, multiply that to the $18.25 an hour, and you get $37,960. If it's given to you a year, you just go straight down 75,000. Now to figure out that would be the annual gross income. That's the annual income. To figure out the monthly gross, we need to divide those numbers by 12, and that's where we get the 3,163 and the 6,250. I am going to give you a pre-tax retirement account. So you're going to have to subtract that here at this step. In Jim's case, he is setting aside $100 in a pre-tax retirement account, which means we're going to subtract this monthly gross by 100, and we'll have $3,063.33. Javier's case is going to be $225, so we're going to subtract that and get $6,025. Now, taxes paid, the reason why I do that and why I'm trying to say subtly, whatever, is that if you can put it in a pre-tax, you actually get taxed less. You will save some money on taxes. And as second period discovered, instead of paying like $707 in taxes, it's actually $693.84. Now, how do we get the taxes? You'll get the tax bracket you fall into, plus Social Security, plus Medicare. Add those up, you get 22.65%. Change that to a decimal. Multiply the 3,063.33 times the 0.2265 to get $693.84. That's how much is taken out in taxes. Subtract those and you get the monthly after-tax income. In Javier's case, he is in the 18% tax bracket, but we're still adding the 6.2 and the 1.45. Notice you always add the 6.2 and the 1.45 so they take out 25.65% in taxes. So 0.2565 of 6,000 gives me $1,500 taken away for a monthly after-tax income of $44.79. Now, for vacation time. Vacation time is sick leave. I'll tell you what to do in the sense of like whether or not he takes extra vacation time. Here, Jim only gets 1 week paid vacation. So if he takes 2 weeks off, we need to figure out how much of his salary is going to be taken out. So I took 2,369.49 and divided by 4 because there's about 4 weeks in a month. That gives me about $592.37. Now, for all of these, if you figure out there's how much they're going to take out, divide it by 12, and so be nice. He only loses $49.36. So like we're saying that they'll let him set up a fund. There was no sick leave because we gave him 5 days sick leave. I decided to keep that simple. Healthcare was 0 because they pay for it. So I just got to subtract the $49 to find out his net income is $2,320.13. In Javier's case, he gets 2 weeks paid vacation, so he doesn't lose any money. He gets his 5 days sick leave, so as long as he doesn't go over 5 days, he should be okay. But he does have to pay $175 for his health care, so his final bill is $4,304.59. So that's pretty much it right there for those two. That's fairly simple, and that's what you got to do to figure those out. If you have any questions on that, I would ask before class, well before class. Okay, so 5-year. Let's look at number 2. So what we're going to do here, and I messed up. I should have had a 5-year written there. 5-year loan. 5-year loan. Matt recently bought a used car for $23,595 and APR 7.5%. To finance the loan, he had to make a 5% down payment on the vehicle. And how much are his payments? Okay, so a 5-year loan. So that's where I get this 5. Oops, wrong button. 5 times 12. The 7.5 is the APR. The PV, present value, is the price of the vehicle minus the down payment. Notice here I'm saying $23,595 minus 0.05 times $23,595. because this right here represents the down payment. This is a loan, so the future value will be 0, the PY and the CY will be 12. So if you do that, you will get that the payments are $449.16. Now again, how do we get there? Menu 8.1 will get us to that screen. Alright, so now let's look at create a monthly budget for Matt. Well, all you got to do is start subtracting, folks, and it's pretty easy. Just start subtracting. That's all you got to do. When you do that, you end up with that amount, $976.84. I will keep track. I would make sure to write down the amounts you're subtracting, always amount left over in the account. So after the rent, he has $2,405. After utilities, $2,275. Cable, $2,226. All the way down to, by the time he's done, he has $976.84 left in his account. Alright, let's look at number 4. Number 4, same idea. This is just a house loan. So all I'm doing here is saying, oh dang, now that was supposed to be erasing. 30 times 12 is a 30-year mortgage. 4.25% APR. $125,000 minus 5% down payment. 0 and 12 because this is a loan. And if you do that, you will get that $500 that you just saw, $584.18. So those should be fairly easy. Now, number 5, your total cost is equal to the payment, how much you're paying, $584.18, right? It was $584.18 times the number of payments. Now, when you do the menu 8.1 on the calculator, that N will tell you that's the N. That's the number of payments. So when you put in the 30 times 12, it's automatically, when you press tab, it's going to tell you 360. So you might as well make note of that. Plus the down payment. And when you do that, you will get that is $216,555. That's how much they will have paid to pay off this house. Okay, so what do I do on number 6? On number 6, I'm adding $50 to that payment. So now they're asking how long will it take. That means N. So you're going to find the N. Your interest rate is still going to be the same, 4.25%. Your PV is still going to be the same, the $125,000 minus 0.05 of $125,000. Your payment is going to be $50 plus the $584. This will still be 0. PY, CY will still be 12. Okay, so if I say 580 negative, or the 584 plus the 50, you should get 634.18. Right? 584 plus 50, 418, 634. Yeah. Okay, so then go back up to N, and what do you get for an answer? When you do that, you should get 308 months. It comes out to 307.7, but you need to round off to the nearest whole number. So on this one, you would have to round off to the nearest whole number and go from there. Okay, so yeah, you get 308 months. Remember, this would be in months, so don't put like years or something like that, because that would be wrong. If you give me the answer is 308 months, actually write the whole word out. 308 months, that's fine. If you want to break that down to years, let's see here, menu. I mean, I would take it either way. 308 months divided by 12 gives you 25.7 years. So 25.7 years. So he saves off almost he saves off four full years just by adding $50 extra to the account. So that's just something for you to know. Alright, number 7, Cisco is looking to buy a new car. How much will his monthly payments be? So if we do the whole N, it's a 5-year loan, 5 times 12. I is going to be 6.5%. His PV, he's not going to put anything down, so it's going to be 28,950. His payment is what we're going to be looking for. This is a loan again, so future value will be 0, and then the 1212, PY, CY. Okay, so if you figure that out, just type it in. You should get negative $566.44, and that should not be a problem. Number 8, if he's willing to put 10% down, what will it be? Well, it's the same information as before, so just give me 1 second. Okay, so on here, this time he wants to put a 10% down, so it's going to be $28,950 minus the 10% of $28,950. And when you do that, you lower your payments down to $509.80. So that one's pretty easy. There you go. Okay, so number 9 now. Okay, so to figure out the expected value of the car, use the total cost of the loan. Again, remember, total cost is total amount money spent minus the value. That's your total cost. Okay, in this case, to get the total money spent, I'm going to take the payments, and we're going to say the $509.80 times the 60 payments plus the 10% down payment. So 10% of $28,950 is $2,895. You should get $33,483 minus the value of the car, $15,450, and you will get your answer. And I get an answer of $18,033. So the total cost for owning this vehicle by the end of the 5 years will be $18,033. Okay, number 10, final question. Dealership offers a lease loan option. Again, here we have N is still 5. We're going to say 5 times 12. I'm pretty sure this should have been 3, but oh well, because it doesn't say here. I will make sure to put how many years, because maybe the lease, I don't think you would see a lease for 5 years. You would probably see a lease for 3 years, but we'll right now say it's still 5. So just make sure you read carefully in the problem. I will have that fixed by the time you take the real test. Okay, the I is going to be the 3.9% APR. The PV will be that $28,950. It is not going to be subtracted by any down payment because I'm not saying anything about a down payment. The payments will come to in a minute. The future value will be how much the car is going to be worth. In this case, negative $15,450. Maybe that's another reason why I kept 5, so I wouldn't have to change it around. PY, CY, again, 12 and 12. So find your payments, and when you do that, you should get negative $298.23. So again, the main thing is, do you know what to fill in, where to fill it in, and there you go. Anyways, that's it for the test. There you go. Hopefully you should be able to do this in, say, that 15 minutes that you have. If you have any questions, feel free to check with me before class starts. Get it done early. Get there quick. Get ready to take the test. Thank you very much, and that's it. Take care.